Good morning, Emerson. Today is Thursday, March 28th. Today we'll be joined by Alison Puzio and Erin Farley from EIV News Presents Consumed. We'll discuss their soon-to-be-released documentary.
And our resident foodie, Chun, will be showing us how to make some delicious Asian cuisine from the comfort of our own home. And I saw what he was cooking up before the show. I'm not going to tell you, but it's awesome. It's sufficiently awesome.
Definitely is. Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Joshua Sackheim. Welcome to Good Morning, Emerson. And really, in terms of news, an amazing morning. Supreme Court hearing not one but two landmark gay rights cases. They're having a hearing on the Defense of Marriage Act, as well as Prop 8, seeing if both of those are constitutional.
Right, so the past 2 days has gone to Prop 8 and DOMA, and they have created quite a stir within not even just our Emerson community, but also within the country. People are putting their profile pictures to be like this human rights campaign equal sign.
Yeah, you've probably seen it around, but there's also been kind of an interesting backlash to that. People calling it slacktivism is the word that people are throwing around, saying, well, you can say you're in support of something, but if you're not doing anything, does it really matter?
Yeah, exactly. Which, you know, I say it could be a true idea, but the other thing is that people are actually against the idea. So we've got, you know,
we actually have
organizations.
Exactly. We have a quote from the Family Research Council. They are a family-based conservative organization, if we could pull that up. All people are capable of loving children, but all the love in the world can't turn a mother into a father or a father into a mother. Once again, that's coming from the Family Research Council, that being a conservative-leaning organization. But yeah, not everyone happy that the court is taking up these cases in the first place.
Right, and some people are actually saying that DOMA, one of the cases, is you know, gender discrimination. People are claiming all these things. But as of right now, only 9 states in America have legalized gay marriage. So it's not necessarily the most widespread phenomenon amongst Americans. However, 53% of Americans agree with it.
Yeah, there's been a slow but steady shift in America in favor of gay marriage. And you know what? With something like this, honestly, it's just great to see a topic that really galvanizes people and gets people interested in the court system.
I know, and you know, there's actually the biggest, most I guess, the person that's most useful in this case is Supreme Court Justice Kennedy. He is the one that everybody's watching.
He's gonna be that swing vote. We're all gonna be watching that. But another interesting court topic, this time in Italy. More is happening with the Amanda Knox case, and for more on that, we go to Tamara Sakarczyk.
Good morning, Emerson. Let's jump into the news with this morning's headlines. It's not over until the Italian Supreme Court says so. Amanda Knox, acquitted and released in 2011 for the murder of her British roommate, is standing trial for the second time. Italy's Court of Cassation ruled that they must rehear the case against the American student for the murder of 21-year-old Meredith Kircher. Knox called the decision painful, but she remains confident in her plea of innocence. Italian law cannot force Knox to return for the new trial, and her lawyer says she isn't planning on doing so, but remains ready to fight.
She's very sad. She thought this was the end of a nightmare, but she's also very strong in the sense that she's willing to fight again. She did all this up to now, so we will continue to fight.
The exact issues being reconsidered will remain unknown until the court releases its final hearing. North Dakota is setting the stage for the strictest abortion law in the nation. Governor Jack Dalrymple signed new abortion bills that may challenge Roe v. Wade Tuesday. The bill bans abortions if a fetal heartbeat is heard, which can be as early as 6 weeks into a pregnancy. The ban also prohibits abortions due to genetic defects and requires abortion doctors to practice the procedure in hospitals, eliminating Planned Parenthood. More than 300 abortion rights activists responded to the governor's bill by protesting outside of the state capitol on Tuesday. The Center for Reproductive Rights disagree with the new laws and plan on filing a challenge to the heartbeat ban. Unless blocked by court, the ban will take effect August 1st. The Secret Service is leading the U.S. government in more ways than one. Just this week, President Obama announced that Julia Pearson will be the nation's first female director of the male-dominated agency. Pearson is currently Chief of Staff of the Secret Service, starting her career in the Presidential Protective Division in 1988. The 53-year-old will replace Mark Sullivan, who retired his 7-year career in February, following the Columbia prostitution scandal. President Obama announced the time has come for both genders to take on leadership roles in government and says that Pearson is eminently qualified to lead the agency. Pearson's duties will include protecting the president and investigating financial crimes. Boston College is demanding an end to a condom controversy. A group who calls itself Boston College Students for Sexual Health is known for distributing condoms on campus, usually out of dorm rooms. The college is calling the act a violation of the college's mission as a Catholic institution and says the students have ignored every warning given. The American Civil Liberties Union has joined the fight, saying that although the college is a Jesuit institution, they are still violating law. The student group will go head-to-head with a group of directors from various BC administrative offices to reach a decision in April. Until then, they plan on adding to the 1,500 condoms given away this semester. Those are your headlines this morning. Now back to your hosts, Josh and Megan.
Thanks, Tammy. Now, do you think that at any point Amanda Knox will be extradited?
Well, Megan, that's a really interesting question because we actually have a treaty with Italy that says once acquitted, you don't have to go back to trial. And that means that she would not, but at the same time, our government has said that they've never dealt with a situation quite like this one before. So it's something to keep our eyes on.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for that, Tammy. Switching gears now, let's take it over to sports because tomorrow the madness resumes.
It was the most important game of the season so far for the Boston Bruins. The Montreal Canadiens traveled to Beantown for the final time this season. Let's take you right into the action from last night. Lots of scoring in this one. Claude Julien on edge here. We're in the last 10 seconds of the game. It's Andrei Markov putting it past the entire Bruins team. The 30-second highlight really doesn't do this one justice, as the Bruins are going to have to go to an overtime. Now count them, 6 rounds of shootouts it took. And finally, Brendan Gallagher gets it past Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask, he's going to need a little chill pill after this one. Bruins lose an intense one at the Garden. By the next episode of GME, we will have our Final Four, and there is a chance of a low seed being there. First off, Oregon is a long shot against mighty Louisville. They are on a mission to redeem last year's run. Next, 13-seeded LaSalle edged out Kansas State earlier on, but now they face Wichita, who beat Gonzaga to play them. Wichita may be their first serious competition. That brings us to Florida Gulf Coast versus Florida. We've learned Gulf Coast can't really be treated like a 15 seed. However, beating the Gators would still be a behemoth of a win. Eric Murphy and Patrick Young are just too big for this smaller Gulf Coast team. Cinderella may be running out of time. And the Red Sox are wheeling and dealing to get fans back in the seats. The team recently released a plan for discounted beer and hot dogs for the month of April. The plan includes a 2-for-1 deal on Fenway Franks and free kids meals. Of course, the more attractive offer for some fans is the $5 draft beer, down from $7.50 last season. Still, our parents can never forget that a good seat at Fenway was once even less than that. And finally, it's time to cut to the chase on the World Cup qualifier. If there were one word to describe Team USA, it would be satisfied. The U.S. won a spot in the World Cup tournament after a scoreless draw against Mexico. The U.S. just had to prevent a goal to qualify while Mexico needed the win. The game left fans wondering how far the United States will be able to go in Rio 2014. But at least we aren't Mexico, who was booed off their home field. Don't worry, Josh and Megan, I'll never boo you off the set for giving a mediocre effort.
That is very kind of you, Anthony.
It's very generous, that's what it is.
But if Florida Gulf Coast defeats Florida this week, they will be the first team ever that's a 15 seed to reach the Elite 8. What is holding them back from doing this?
Well, the Florida Gators have had some time now to watch the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles team, and they've been able to see their fast-paced style of play. I think the Gators are going to catch on to that, and they're going to stop the fast break. They're going to stop all the showboating with the alley-oops and things like that. I think it's going to be a very tough team for the Eagles. They may have met their match this time.
And Anthony, the USA men's soccer team has to be riding high from last night. Are we thinking they can make some real noise in this year's World Cup?
Well, it's going to be tough because the U.S. typically doesn't make it that far. I mean, Mexico was a good team. They're celebrating a 0-0 game here, so, you know, we'll have to see.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Anthony. After the break, we're going to be joined by Alison Puzio, producer of EIV News Presents Consumed.
She and reporter Erin Farley will give us a never-before-seen preview of the documentary. And we're back. Our next guests have been drawing some buzz around campus.
Absolutely. You've seen the flyers around campus and in the dining hall. Let's take a sneak peek at EIV News Presents Consumed.
I was horrified, basically. That number I never wanted to see ever again. And I started following the plan correctly, and the weight started coming off. I got compliments. It was fine. Like, I felt great. I felt just better physically, mentally. And then as the summer went on, going into freshman year, I started taking it to the extreme. I wanted more compliments. I wanted to feel better about myself. You lose 10 pounds, what happens if you lose 20?
We're now joined by Alison Puzio, the show's executive producer, and Erin Farley, whose piece we just had a chance to look at. And also, we've got the host right here.
Yes, so I am somewhat involved. I know a little bit about the show, but first of all, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
And second of all, you guys are the ones who really made the show. Like Megan said, I know a little bit about it, but for our prospective viewers, why don't you tell us a little bit about Consumed?
All right, so Consumed is, it focuses on like the different relationships people have with food. We have three main stories. One is about a rooftop garden that's being built in Boston. The next is the clip that you just saw about a woman's struggle with anorexia. And then the last is about Clover, which is a food truck here in Boston, about their initiative to make healthy eating on the go. And so we cover those three stories, and we also have interview guests commenting on each piece.
Wow. Now, this is, I think, such an interesting idea that I don't think has been, tapped into. But where did you come up with this idea?
My co-producer, Becky Wally, approached me with the idea at the end of last fall with the basic concept. And from there, it developed into what it is. We wanted to make a show, a long news form show, mixed with like a documentary style. So it is like in the studio and also shot in the field. And both of us were inspired by our travels. Becky had spent a summer in India, and I had been in Europe before that. And so the idea of looking at people's relationships with food and how they're different in different cultures, we wanted to then like look at that here in America and in our surrounding Boston community. So that's what, yeah.
And Erin, from that clip we just saw, obviously you're telling a really powerful story. What was it like being in the field trying to tell that story?
It was an incredible experience, I have to say. I've always wanted to kind of do a package like that, and we never thought anyone would actually want to share their story like Tessa did. And so just being there with her and really hearing the story, and you'll see later on when you see the full package, we talked to the mother, we talked to the brother and the brother's wife, and just hearing their story and just, they were all just like, Tessa, just stop. But we learned from it that, when it comes to anorexia, it's a lot harder than just stopping.
Great.
It was very powerful.
Yeah.
When can people see this documentary?
Well, our launch party is in the multi-purpose room in Piano Row on Saturday from 5 to 7, and then watch it live on April 1st at 7 p.m. on the Emerson channel.
Great, and it's definitely worth watching. Alison Puzio, Erin Farley, thanks for joining us. Now we're going to kick it over to cooking with you in a little bit, but first, Maggie Morloff has a look at the weather.
Thanks, guys, and happy holidays, because we're in the middle of Passover and hippity-hoppity, Easter's on its way. It looks like spring is finally making its way here to Boston. Although today we are experiencing some leftover precipitation from last night, today will be the chilliest day this week, with temps returning tomorrow to the 50s. And temps will continue to rise through the week to a nice 55 on Easter Sunday. So have no fear, the Easter Bunny will be here. Now let's go to the 5-day to see exactly what will be happening for the rest of the week. Thursday, we're seeing some precipitation in the morning, but today we have a high of 47 and a low of 35. On Friday, partly cloudy, back up to a high of 51 with a low of 36. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 51 again, low of 35. Then Sunday, we're up to a high of 55 with a low of 43. On Monday, there's a chance of a few showers, but that's no joke, with a high of 55 and a low of 33. So enjoy these springy days and enjoy the holidays, and have some peeps for me, or maybe some matzah. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Maggie. It's been a tough week for teen celebrities. Looks like the life of the rich and glamorous isn't as luxurious as it sounds.
Logan Levitt has the scoop.
Thanks, guys. Justin Bieber is being accused of assault by one of his neighbors. The Biebs returned home to Calabasas, California Tuesday to complaints from neighbors that his house had been used as a party destination while he was gone. Bieber and one of his neighbors reportedly got into a verbal argument about the incidents. The neighbor claims that Justin got physical with him. However, Bieber's camp says it was strictly a verbal argument. This is the latest bad news for Justin Bieber, who just returned home from a European tour, which he managed to faint during a show, cancel another show, punch a paparazzo, and exhibit other bizarre behavior. For now, no charges have been filed against the singer. It's been a bad week for Teen Mom star Farrah Abraham. Just days after she was arrested for driving under the influence, photos have surfaced of the reality TV star partying and drinking in lingerie. Entertainment gossip website TMZ originally posted the photos. Farrah tweeted a day after her DUI arrest, claiming that the arrest reports were completely false, and she doesn't believe in drama. The TV star was originally featured on the show 16 and Pregnant, and then later joined the cast of Teen Mom. She has a 4-year-old daughter, Sophia. She stressed the importance of spending time with family and on the show, as well as staying classy. You stay classy, Farrah. Anderson Cooper could soon be joining Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show couch. Rumors are circulating that NBC is in talks to replace Matt Lauer with the CNN host. Matt Lauer has a $25 million contract, but NBC is reportedly willing to pay him out, so he will leave the show. Lauer's reputation has been rocky since news broke that he was involved with Ann Curry's ousting. Ryan Seacrest and David Gregory are also rumored to be in the running for the job if Matt Lauer is fired. Lauer has also been named as one of the possible replacements for Alex Trebek if he leaves Jeopardy when his contract is up next year. Finally, Amanda Bynes is continuing to confuse us. She has sent out some bizarre tweets lately, including one to rap star Drake. There have also been endless mirror selfies that she's been posting on Instagram. However, for someone she doesn't want to be seen, she isn't hiding too well. She was seen in Times Square Tuesday with a sheet over her head and in a short skirt in 40-degree weather. She went to McDonald's in Times Square and stayed for over 2 hours. And all this craziness was caught on tape by paparazzi. The real question here is, what will Amanda Bynes do next? That's today's dose of Hollywood gossip. Let's send it back to Josh and Megan.
All right, so Logan, going from the Today Show to Jeopardy is kind of an odd switch. Are we thinking Matt Lauer might actually be considering taking over Alex Trebek's job for next year?
I don't think so. I think it's all a rumor. Actually, a story came out this morning that NBC came out and said Matt Lauer is not leaving the show, so it appears to be just rumor for now.
Now, Amanda Bynes' odd string of behavior is raising some eyebrows. Do you think that this is a cry for help, or is the former Nickelodeon star just going through a phase?
At this point, we just don't know. It seems like she's going down the Lindsay Lohan and Justin Bieber route. All we can do for now is hope for the best and hope she can get out of this phase pretty soon.
I used to be such a fan. It's disappointing, and she kept it together for so long. That's what really bums me out about it.
I know, and there was a little controversy, Disney stars or Nickelodeon stars, and the poll was always Disney stars were the ones that would,
But you know what, Logan, I do want you to try the studs on the cheeks. I think that could be that could be a good look.
I'll have it next week for you, Josh.
All right, thanks, Logan. It's time now for a quick break, but don't go anywhere because you're going to want to see what we have coming up next.
Justin Chun is just around the corner, and we'll be whipping up some Asian cuisine with him. Stay tuned. Show this morning, we're joined by cooking extraordinaire Justin Chun.
He's going to show us how to make some homemade Asian cuisine. Justin?
Thanks, guys. Now, normally I would take you to a restaurant around Boston, but today I have a special treat for you. I'm going to invite you into my very own kitchen to show you how I make some of my Asian food favorites. Let's check it out. Aloha and welcome to my humble abode. Today we're going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, Chinese food. You're probably familiar with the takeout favorites, beef and broccoli, and egg drop soup. Today, we're gonna bring those dishes from the takeout place into your kitchen, or in this case, my kitchen, for you on a budget. Let's get started. So egg drop soup is very simple, and I'm gonna show you how to do it here, starting with some water. I've got about 4 cups of water. I've put some in. That's gonna be the start for our base. While that's happening, we're going to break 2 eggs into a bowl. We're going to whisk these eggs, which will then be combined into the soup, thus giving it the name egg drop soup. Next up, I have these cubes. You can get chicken bouillon, you can get chicken broth. Put that all right on in and give it a good stir. Following that, we've got some minced onions to put in. And now we just will let it sit on the back burner while we move on to our beef and broccoli. We want to chop the beef, which is pretty thin already, into about thin slices about 1 inch long so that they're easy to eat, bite-sized. So we're gonna start with our green peppers, which we'll put right in here. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, when these peppers are tender, we're gonna go ahead and put in the beef and the broccoli. Stir fry that until the meat is lightly browned and the veggies are a little bit tender. Now to make the sauce, we're gonna combine about a half a cup of oyster sauce, put that on a separate burner, add some cornstarch, and then when the beef is ready, we're gonna throw that all right inside. All right, and now we're ready with our sauce. We're gonna put that right over onto our veggies and our beef, and then we're just gonna take it on home, leave it on the burner, stir fry it for about 4 more minutes, and we will be good to go. And now we have our finished product. I've also been cooking rice in a rice cooker, so we're gonna get some white rice there, get our soup, our beef and broccoli, and you have a grade A Chinese takeout meal in your home that you did all by yourself.
Now, we are joined by Justin, who's going to show us how to make some bubble tea. So excited.
And of course, we have another foodie here, Erin from Consume. She's going to be helping us out today. So what we're going to do is I've started shaking this for you in my oversized martini shaker, which is going to serve today as a bubble tea shaker. So if you guys
it's just the right amount.
If you guys could put some tapioca balls and a couple ice cubes in your guys' cup, I can pour that out for you.
Try these out.
Now what we're going to go over here on Erin's side is the tapioca balls themselves start as something that look a lot like cocoa pebbles.
Yeah,
is what it
I
was.
would think so.
But if you boil them for 20 minutes, you get what they are spooning into their glasses right there, that gelatinous tapioca
I still don't understand how in a 20-minute water boiling pot, it's going to turn into
it's
this
magic.
squishy
There are just
thing.
some things I don't question. Megan.
All right, so we have never question it. So we have the tapioca balls in.
And now a couple ice cubes. You can go ahead and grab that with your hand, use a spoon. I know you guys are
Great.
trained.
And now let's get to the yummy part, right?
All right.
Unless you like just tapioca and ice, but.
You know, that's
Excuse
my
the
favorite
reach,
treat.
Megan.
Just tapioca and ice, just like Mom used to make. That looks awesome, though.
Oh my gosh,
What we
I'm
have
so
here
excited.
is a chai.
That is great.
Chai and lemon bubble tea.
Yeah.
What I'm going to make for me and Erin is going to be a raspberry peach bubble tea.
That sounds really good.
That is really good. And I'm used to kind of the fruity flavors. This is the first time I've ever had something like a chai and lemon. You actually made the pitch to me before the show. It's fantastic,
my gosh,
right?
This is so good.
How is it?
It's honestly amazing.
You know it's good.
You just want us to say it more.
All right, so now what we're going to do, Erin, is we're going to put mine and yours serving on right into the mixer.
And there's nothing in that mixer right now besides just this tea that you're pouring in.
Nope, I've let this tea steep for a little bit, but there are a couple other secret ingredients that I'm going to go over in a second. Just going to get these tea bags out of here because they probably wouldn't be all that good.
No, probably would not be yummy to eat those.
All right, so that goes in there, and then the other ingredients that we're going to be adding, a little bit of milk, which I have in this cup here.
Okay.
Add that to taste. You can substitute in any milk that you want.
And that gives you that kind of creamy texture.
That will. And then, of course, our little bear honey.
Aw.
Again, to taste, depending on how sweet this is. This is a fruit one, so I'm not going to put that much because that fruit's going to have that natural raspberry sweetness to itself. And again, you can use any sort of tea you have here, and if you guys want to go ahead and garnish your glasses with a slice of fruit.
Oh, great.
Now this is chai lemon?
That is chai lemon. So maybe lemon
might
would be
work
appropriate
good.
on this
There you go. It's
but
just
also I want to eat the orange, so I might eat the orange.
It's just like something you'd get at like a hotel or a nice restaurant or Justin's kitchen.
Or my kitchen. Ooh.
Okay, well.
And now one more thing.
You can go ahead and put tapioca.
What exactly is the difference between honey and sugar in tea? Like why? Because I always tend to put sugar in my tea.
Yeah.
Honey is, of course, a natural ingredient, so it's going to be a little bit more healthy for you to get that sugary taste rather than just sugar. You can also, I mean, it's not a popular usage of it, but Splenda or any sugar substitute can also go in this. Soy milk as well.
Nice, nice.
This is really great snack, and what's great about it is that you wouldn't think this is something I can make in my own kitchen, but it really isn't. It really isn't all that difficult. And Justin, Erin, thank you so much for joining us once again. This is amazing. I'm going to be having this all throughout the rest of the show, but that's all the time we have for this morning. Tune in on Tuesday, though, because Jasmine Jacob is going to be back with the latest fashions.
I know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Tuesday.